Better now. Now it's perfect. Oh, okay. Great. Oh, thank you so much for bearing with me. I'm so sorry. The phone is just totally dead. Like, I think it's just too hot for the phone to be streaming. It is, as I said, 32, maybe even 35 degrees at the moment, and there's no aircon. So I think that the phone is just not agreeing with the live. But okay, let's try and do it from the computer then. I'm glad that we sorted out somehow. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, I totally forgot what I was saying. Where was I? I think we were talking about the channel, about how that I would like to keep this channel more travel related and more like vlog styles, and then the second channel is more jewelry related, like focused on jewelry stuff and selling online. So anybody that's interested in jewelry making and it's here because of that, Etsy, selling on Etsy, making money online, making money while you're traveling, go head out to that channel, because that's where I'm gonna be uploading content related to that. Liz Smith, you were saying about silversmithing. Yes, again, all silversmithing stuff, all jewelry making stuff will be on the second channel. Because if I start uploading jewelry making stuff on this channel, then it's gonna be a little bit of a hot pot of different things. And I'm trying to keep this one more travel. I don't know how much travel there's gonna be, to be honest, in the next years. We'll see. But yeah, more vlog style related. The name of the channel that I mentioned about jewelry is Makina Makes, and you should be able to find it on the description of this channel. I don't know, because this was like very, very fast, and I think maybe YouTube didn't add the usual description, but if you can't find it here, you should be able to find it in most of the previous videos. Don't you feel cramped staying in a van for months? Yes. So I traveled with a kangaroo for, how long was it? Like nearly 3 years with a big dog. And that was cramped. But I was alone. While in the last few months when I was with Florent, it was a bigger van. It wasn't even a van, it was a pickup box. And it was so much luxurious. It had like a big normal bed and like a fridge, and it was just a great setup. But again, for two people in a van all the time, it is also cramped. So we were lucky that we had a lot of nice weather. So most of the days, one would stay out, one would stay in. So at least to each other, we both would have some space. So yeah, it does get cramped. Oh, definitely. So now that I'm in the house, I've been in the house for, as I said, 2 weeks. Like here, there's so much space. It's so amazing to be able to just walk and like have different rooms for different things, and there's a shower too. It's just real luxury. Maria from the Philippine Islands. Hello from the Philippines. I would love to visit the Philippines maybe one day. It's 27 here. It's hotter, Maria. It's 32 when I checked, but it feels like more right now. Do you have a dream travel vehicle? Yes, something that's big when you're inside it, but it's small at the same time. Like something that shrinks. That would be great. Something that you can just put in your pocket and then inflate it, and then it becomes big and you can stay inside, and then you can put it back in your pocket. That would be the ideal. But no, in all seriousness, I think I like change. I like to change things up, and I appreciate the perks and of the different kinds of vehicles. So no, I don't really have I'd say I am gonna share this. I am kind of thinking of buying another van, just because at the moment, other than this in Italy, I don't have a place to stay, and I feel kind of lost. And if there's one thing that I hate, is being dependent on other people in terms of of accommodation. So I hate asking. I hate sleeping at other people's houses. It's not that I hate it. It's okay for a night, but then I always feel like I need my space. So I'm thinking of getting a van, hopefully maybe the next few months, probably in the UK. The thing is that, as I said, in the UK I don't have a place, so I don't have the tools to convert a van. So I either find a way to get everything cut. So if I buy a van that is not converted, I will have to find a way to convert it in a basic manner without tools. So going to Home Depot or B&Q and getting everything cut up for the van, or get a van that's already converted. But it's hard to find converted vans that are nice, because they're usually on my price range. They're usually quite old or really sketchy, like they're not done very well, or like they're half done, half not done. So we'll see. I have been looking on Gumtree a lot for vans, and I wouldn't be going back to a Kangoo. A few people have asked. I'll be going for something bigger. I did enjoy the Kangoo. I loved the Kangoo, but it was small, and it was great at that time. But now I would like a place where I could work comfortably, because in the Kangoo I would have to put like my work area would have to be on top of the sink. So if I wanted to like make a tea or something, then I couldn't. I would have to move everything and then put it back. And I would like to have a place where I have a bed where it's just there permanently. I don't have to move around. And then some storage under the bed, and then some kind of area where I can have a table, and that's just there. So I don't care as much about having a fixed kitchen, fixed gas and stuff like that. I just want a table where I can, lie my stuff. Somebody asked, okay, I'm gonna answer this question because I don't think I ever answer it, and a few people seem to be curious. Are you vegan? Yeah, I've been, I mean, I'm not gonna go very long about this, but I'm not a preacher. I'm not a vegan preacher, but yes, I eat plant-based. I was vegetarian when I was 12, and then I went vegan when I was 20, so it's nearly 10 years now, and this is just what I do, and that's that. You're welcome to convert in Belgium and I'll help. Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, that's another option, to find somebody that has a garage where they could maybe borrow me tools, rent me the tools, where I could maybe even sleep in the garage. I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it would be a nice solution, that too, if I wanted to properly convert it. But at the same time, I don't want to spend too long on it. I don't want to do a super beautiful conversion. I just want something basic that can host me for, just a nest that I can go back to. And I am thinking that since winter is coming as well, that maybe I could try and find some house sits in Scotland and in Ireland, because I honestly loved house sits, and I know I haven't shared much while I was in Canada, just because I felt weird of showing on the internet somebody else's house and personal items, Although at the second house sit that I stayed a little bit longer, I did ask and they were okay with it. So, but still, it was a bit weird to, film inside somebody else's house. But that said, yes, I love house sitting, and I'm thinking that it will be a great way to maybe pass the winter in Ireland, in Scotland. We'll see, in Wales maybe. We'll see. And that's house sitting for me. It's also a way to get that dog time that I miss so much. And this winter, again, I was really lucky to be able to spend a lot of time with two stunning, beautiful, super cuddly dogs. I just love them and miss them so much. And yeah, I would love to do that this winter as well, because a lot of you have asked whether I'm getting another dog. And I did I made a live on Instagram last week, and I explained this there, but I'm going to explain it here too, because probably a lot of people weren't there. There's a few reasons why I'm not getting a dog, although I'm honestly so dying to get a dog. I'm like one of those weird people that anytime that sees a dog now, I'm like all over them. I'm one of those people, and I used to not really like those people when I had Odie, because they will be like, oh, always like have to wait for them to cuddle them, and now I'm one of those people. But two things. First of all, I'm gonna probably take the plane in the next year. I mean, for sure, I'm gonna take the plane because of different reasons, and I don't have anybody that can keep a dog if I take the plane. I did it once with Odie for 1 week, and it was really difficult to find somebody that I trusted. At the end, I left it with a friend, which was good, but I don't have anybody that has the space and the time to care about for a dog. So, and I looked into how it works to bring a dog in the plane, and it can be very traumatic for the dog. You can't sedate them, because I thought at the beginning you could sedate them so that they won't remember. That's illegal in most places. They want the dog to be awake. So it can be quite traumatic for the dog. And obviously, if you're planning to move somewhere and stay there permanently, then a plane journey is not going to be the end of the world. But since I don't quite know where I'm going to stay, like for long term, I don't feel it's fair, since I know that I'm going to be traveling and I'll need to take a plane, and probably for long distances too. So that's one thing. And also, second thing, again, since I'm nomad, I don't have a house. I don't have a place where I live, really. I switch every few months. I feel it'll be unfair to take a dog, not knowing the dog, and throw them in this kind of lifestyle. I think you should build trust with your dog, get to know them, get to feel them, and see if they would fit with your lifestyle. Because traveling is not for every dog. Some dogs are very territorial. Some dogs, they get really attached about where they live and stuff. So I feel like you would have to know your dog before you throw them in such lifestyle. With Odie, I knew him very well, and I knew he would be okay. Like I knew it. So, and we already had built that connection. We already had built that trust. So I don't feel like that would be possible if I was to get a dog now and then start traveling around. Yeah. You buy a plane that's easy for dog and travel, you laugh. But actually, when I had Odie and I needed to go to Canada, and I was planning to stay in Canada for a long time, like I did this year, I actually looked at how much would it be to rent a private plane. Like, I'm not even joking. Obviously, I can't afford it. Like, I can barely afford the ticket just for myself. I mean, barely. I can afford it, but you know what I mean. And it was like, there aren't even... Okay, I'm going too fast. There's this site where they sell discounted tickets for journeys in private planes, because planes that have been booked, private planes, they go the journey there, and that's paid, but then they have to come back. So they often sell discounted tickets for people that want to take that journey that's empty. Does that make sense? So I was looking in that site if there was anybody going from Canada to the UK that had a super discounted ticket, and obviously it was like 20,000. I don't even remember. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, if I could, I would buy a plane, and just so I could travel with my dog. Definitely. Hi, how do you find a house to sit? You need to sign up for a website. There are several websites. The most common one is Trusted House Sitters, and that's a global one. It is quite expensive. I don't remember exactly how much is the membership fee, but it is expensive, and there's a lot of competition. So what I suggest to people is to try and find a site specific for the country that you're wanting to travel. So for example, when I knew that I was going to Canada for a while, I signed up to House Sitters Canada. So it's the house sitting site specific to Canada. That way there's less competition, and all of the listings are specific for the country. So that's what I suggest people to do. Yeah. I made a Q&A specifically on house sitting. You can find that on my channel. There's a lot of frequently asked questions about house sitting. Do you have a link to the private plane website? No, but if I can find it after this live, I'll put it on the description. But if you look online, I think there's a term for this. Maybe somebody else knows this. There's a term for this, like look for private plane discount tickets, something will come up. Okay, a lot of people asking about Florent. Well, I'm glad that you care. That's very sweet. I saw a lot of comments about this on my last vlog too. And he's well, he's still in Canada. He does have a channel. So if you're interested in keeping up with him, his, wait, I'll write it here so you can check him. Ma vie en van. Yes, his channel name is Ma vie en van. So if you're interested in keeping up with him, you can check his channel directly. But yeah, nothing happened. I just have to go back to Italy eventually. So he's still there and I'm here, and this is how it is at the moment. But yes, I just wanted to make it clear. Please, I know that I'm sharing my life online, and I know that a lot of people are curious and that you just care. I know that, but I tried to keep my private life kind of separate from YouTube. Obviously, I do share things with you, but it's usually when I'm alone. That's when I feel comfortable. Obviously, for the last 8 months, I was with Florent all the time. So, of course, he was included in some of the content. But that, to me, does not necessarily mean that I need to explain. Am I being naive? I don't know. But yes, that's how it is. So if I don't update you on like sentimental stuff, that doesn't mean necessarily that's because, it doesn't mean anything. It's because I don't particularly want to share that side of my life on the internet. I feel bad. I mean, I feel awkward about it because I know that I'm the first one to expose myself. So I understand why those questions are coming. Okay. Hello from Saskatchewan. Hello, I miss Canada. Are you afraid of homeless dogs when traveling? I really want to travel alone, but I have those fears. Do you mean you're afraid of the dogs themselves? I mean, I don't know where you are, because there's some countries where it's really bad. I agree. But in Europe, no, not everywhere in Europe. But where I've traveled, it's okay. I had one, my God, I still remember this. In France, I had one occasion where there was this dog who followed me everywhere, and I thought he was lost. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to take this dog? There's Odie in the car. Odie is super jealous. How am I going to do this? Anyway, it ended up being just a dog that had an owner like 100 meters away, and he was just wandering around. And I had gotten so worried that he was alone. He was a beautiful border collie. Anyway. Would you ever visit the United States? I would love to. And if you are from the US, so my love goes to you for this rough time. And yes, the plan was in May March, when was it? In March, when we finished the second house sit in Alberta, was to actually drive down the west coast of the US to get to California. And then probably I would have flown from California to Italy or Europe. But then, of course, this whole pandemic happened and that plan was, scrapped. But yes, I would love to visit US. And there's a few places that I heard are just stunning. I mean, there's many places that are stunning, but a few places that I would particularly like to go. Kev, you asked if I'm from Italy. Yes, I'm Italian, but my mom is actually French, and I spent... I moved to the UK 10 years ago when I was like 20. So, hi, Erin, Beauty Creep. If anybody is wanting film suggestions, book suggestions, and some entertaining videos, go check out Erin from Beauty Creep. She's lovely, and I love her film suggestions. Like anything she shares, I check, and it's usually good. She's asked, are you still doing baskets? I'm obsessed. I keep showing people your video. Thank you. Yes, I mean, the plan was for this vlog, for this live, to make a basket. but I can't do two things at once. I was too ambitious, I think. So I'm gonna do this after the live. Do I have any plans to go back to Canada? Yes, I loved Canada. I will admit that it took me a little while to get used to Canada because I'm used to Europe where everything is closed and there's a little cute village and there's cafes everywhere and it's like tototu. Although I love places where there's, in Scotland, for example, where there's like nothing for 100 miles and then you find a cute little village. But in Canada, the distances are so stretched. And also I spent the winter in Alberta where really there was nothing. And although I love the fact that there's no people around, that there's a lot of wilderness, I kind of miss that small town vibe at first. And then now I'm in this small town in Italy, which is lovely. It's beautiful. It's like everybody would, dream to come here and visit. And I'm like, there's too many people. There's too many houses. Everybody's so close together. I can hear the neighbors all the time. And I miss like the distances and the just the space that Canada has and the wildlife as well. In Canada, I got so interested in birds and in like learning to recognize birds and kind of just be aware of the birds. There's so many beautiful birds and some just make the most incredible sounds. And here, when I came back, I hadn't seen one bird. I saw a crow this morning and I was like, oh my God, a bird. And I'm not saying that there's no birds. There are birds, obviously. They just don't come as close or there aren't as many or as much as many species as there were in the places that I've been in Canada. But of course, there's obviously a lot of birds in Italy as well. Just something that I noticed. Magdalena, do you consider selling rings on Etsy? I actually made a few rings with sea glass. Let's see if I can find them. Again, I'm trying to keep this channel more vlog travel related, but since you're all curious, yeah, I've tried making some sea glass rings. Obviously, the camera quality is not great, but I'm actually I found that they are quite fiddly to make, and I need to practice a little bit more. I'm not happy with the joints, so I'm gonna hopefully work on those more soon. Which specific bird did I like the most? I think just the hummingbirds. They're just so stunning. And at first, all you hear is like, and it sounds like a huge insect. And you're like, whoa, what is that? And then after a few times, your brain recognizes that that's a hummingbird is not an insect. And you go like, whoa, where is it? Like, because they go so fast. So definitely hummingbirds are my favorite. But all of them, there's so many. Amrita, would you love to see in India? I actually visited India when I was 20 and I loved it, and maybe one day I will come back. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I think most of us are with traveling in general, just pandemic aside. The more old I get, the more concerned I get with the travel that I do. So obviously traveling by van is actually not that bad. I know that it consumes petrol, don't get me wrong, but since it's also your house, you don't have any bills, you don't have any electricity, you just rely on your van. It's not as bad if you don't move a lot. So if you're like me and you stay like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you move like half an hour and then you stay a week, it's not as bad. Obviously, it still consumes a little bit of petrol, but it's not bad. But if you then take the plane, it starts getting a little bit. So I'm trying to really envision my next travels with alternative methods. Obviously, if I need to go to Canada again, which I will go to Canada again, I will take a plane. So I'm thinking, since I will have to take a plane for that trip, which other ways can I travel and do and see the places that I want to see without necessarily taking planes? I'm torn too with plane travels. Should I or not? Honestly, I think planes are great, right? Like they allow seeing you to see people that maybe you haven't seen in a while, and like they open a lot of opportunities. So I think they're good, but I think we have been going overboard, so overboard lately with like, we can get away and you go to Ibiza for 2 days and then you come back to the UK, and it's just like, is it really necessary? Like, I know that you're not getting a lot of sun in the UK, and I get that you probably don't have a lot of holidays, but I think we should all start thinking twice before taking planes and going for long journeys in general. And I know that I'm the first hypocrite because I just spent so long in Canada and then now I'm back in Europe. But you see, I knew that I would be going in Canada, and I thought, okay, I'm taking this plane. Let's stay as long as we can. Let's not go and like for 2 weeks and then come back. Let's stay long. That makes me feel a little bit better about taking the plane. But okay. Trains are awesome. Yes, trains are great. Yes, definitely. Like a long journey with a train would be amazing, and I absolutely love trains. So definitely, yeah, I should kind of wonder. Actually, last year I had to before going to Canada, I had weird logistics. I was in Italy, but I had to go back to the UK. And then I also had to go and see my grandparents in France to pick up my passport because I have two passports and I had to take my French passport. Anyway, it was a mess. And for that, I managed to take one train instead of a plane. So I was quite happy. From London to Paris, there's the train, the channel, I don't know how it's called, the Eurostar. So I took the train instead of the plane, and it was so great. And actually, it took less than how less time that the plane would have taken. So that was cool. Was Canada more humid? Where we were in the Okanagan, it was actually like perfect weather. We were really lucky because I have lived the summer in Quebec, and oh my god, it was so humid. I never experienced a humidity like that. So in Western Canada where we were, it was actually much better. And now here in Italy, as I am not quite in the mountain, but higher up than most other cities, it's a bit more chillier and not as humid, but still it's hot. Train plus bicycle trips, perfect. High recommended. Yes, I've been pondering with this idea about bicycle travels, and I think that's gonna be something that is gonna come up in the next few years. Do you miss cooking more elaborate things when you are living in the van? I miss the oven in the van because I love doing roasted potatoes and things like that. Everything else you can kind of do as long as they don't take too long. And as I said, I was missing the oven, and then when I came here, I didn't know that actually there was no oven. The kitchen doesn't have an oven. There's only a microwave, and I was so disappointed because I was just so planning of baking stuff. And anyway, what plans do you have tomorrow and the day after? Tomorrow, I think I'm just gonna keep doing baskets. I had a break of 2 days for my fingers, and tomorrow I need to go get back to it. I only have enough needles. Wait, I'll show you, for one other basket. And as I said, I still have a lot to do, and the plan is to go. Trying to show you the needles. You can't quite see. yeah, the plan is to go to a place where I know that there's gonna be pines and stock up. And they're not gonna be as long as the Canadian ones, but I think they will do. Wait, I'm gonna go and switch on the light because it's getting quite dark and you can't quite see me. Is it a little bit better? Oh, now I have the hello. Jack May, we just bought a folding bike too. Yeah, folding bikes are great. I had a folding mountain bike when I was living in England, and that was really, really cool. Wait, I'm just gonna move a little bit. By the way, I'm not planning this live to go on forever. I wanted to keep it around an hour and a half, but since we had a little hiccup at the beginning, thank you for staying with me. But yes. Do you plan to have long distance hikes in the future with a backpack, tent, all that? Yes, so last year I started the Southern Upland Way in Scotland. Sorry, I'm just gonna put the battery on the computer because can you imagine if also the computer died on me? That wouldn't be cool. Wait. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Whew. Yes, I started the Southern Upland Way, which is it's not that long. It takes 2 weeks, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. And after 1 week, I had to abort the mission because I had a, how do you call that? Tendinitis in one of my feet, and it was just horrible. And I think that I got it for 2 reasons. My back was too heavy, and although I was really careful with the weight, but still it was too heavy. So next time I will try and reduce it even more. And second, my boots, they weren't fitting well. Again, I thought I chose the right pair, but obviously I hadn't. I had already hiked with those boots, but yeah, they didn't do good for my feet. So. Thank you, Cyan. Oh my God, is that a fox or is that a dog? That's adorable. Thank you, Cyan. Have you painted more watercolors? Patrizia Setola. Patrizia, I actually saw your email and I wanted to reply to you, so I'll do that tonight. No, I haven't because I had to leave all my watercolor papers in Canada because I didn't have any space in my luggage. So I'll as soon as my isolation finishes, I will go get some paper. And yeah. What's the craziest weather you came across? Thunderstorm, blizzard, heat wave? I think I found all of them, but the scariest weather that I found lately anyway was when I came down with a motorbike. And in Switzerland, it was the beginning of September, and I just did a few passes on mountain passes, and it was so foggy. The roads were, quite narrow, and then there's just like, cliffs, and I couldn't see anything. It was so foggy. I couldn't see cars coming, and there was nowhere to stop really. So I just had to go up and then come back down the other side, and that was horrible. Like, I really don't want to do it again. In fact, I think this time I'll avoid that side and either go through France or go to another, not that side of Switzerland, because I was traumatized by that, like those few passes. They were fun. They were fun once the fog was gone. Did you obtain a UK passport while you were living there? No, I already have 2 passports, so I can't have more than that. No. See Darwin Trail channel for ultralight through hiking tips. I will check that out. Thank you. Most of my gear is quite light. My tent, my sleeping bag, my cooking system. But then, of course, I tend maybe to bring a book or like my camera gear and stuff like that. And I just need to find a way to minimize that too, because everything, I didn't have tents and stuff like that. I had really old stuff that was cheap and wasn't meant for really hiking. And I bought everything. I did a lot of research and I bought everything, you know, that was as light as it could be within my budget, obviously. So I think I'm good for gear. I just need to learn, to really, really, really strip down anything that is not necessary. So even a book, you would think that you would read when you're through hiking, and actually you don't because you're just too tired. So things like that. And food also, I tend to bring extra food because especially where I did that hike in Scotland, I knew that most places, if I stopped at a little village, they wouldn't have many of the things that I enjoy eating. As I said, I eat a lot of nuts and things like that. Like I try to eat good quality food, and most of those villages I knew they wouldn't have. They would just have like more junk snacks and stuff like that. So, getting caught in the fog on a motorbike is the worst. I agree. It was horrible. Like honestly, it was really, really. Oh, what about Monte Grappa? It's funny. It's actually just here. I don't want to tell you too close where I am because obviously the village is really, really tiny and it wouldn't be really hard to find me. But Monte Grappa is like close to here, and I was actually planning to do a hike there. It takes a little. I mean, it probably will take me more than a day to get there. But yeah, it's funny. How do you know that? How do you know about Monte Grappa? I rewatch Pam the Van videos every day. Oh, that's sweet. Do you know what? I don't know if it's sad or funny, but sometimes I rewatch my own videos too. Like when I have nothing to watch on YouTube, it's mostly because I miss Odie and I like seeing his face again. So I watch my own videos too sometimes. Do I have any plans to meet Norae from Itchy Boots? Oh, that would be lovely, but I think we are two different leagues. Like she's up here. I think I saw she's in Iceland right now, and I wish her all the best. And I hope this trip goes well after the abrupt ending to the last one. Will you be requesting that YouTube play button now? I don't really. I should, I guess. I don't know if you need to request it or if they send it directly. I wouldn't have anywhere to store it anyway, so we'll see. I read Wild and loved it. Thank you for the recommendation. Kisses from Spain. Mwah! I'm glad you liked it. I read it in like 2 days. It was just so easy to read. What bike do I have now? I have a CBF 600, a Honda CBF 600. That's from 2006, I think. And it is a great bike. Like, honestly, I was so surprised that it's been still for 8 months and it just started at the first go and I had no issues at all. And I was really impressed by that. The vent doesn't work. So if it's really hot, I need to be careful not to stall for too long for the temperature not to go up. But other than that, it's great. But it is quite heavy. So I found that when I have my panniers on and I have my top box on, it's quite heavy. And I find it easy to lose balance with it. In fact, I fell I fell twice. Yeah, on my way down. And I was like, so I am thinking that I might sell this bike and in the future buy more of a trail kind of more of a off-roadish kind of bike because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy going, I'm not that interested in speed. Anyway. Oh, people remembering Odie. Oh. How do you maintain, develop meaningful relationships while traveling? Um, do I? That is the question. I don't know. I think every relationship is so different and so unique, and people are unique. So I think it's really hard to give tips because everybody is so unique. But for me, it's just learning how to be flexible and remembering that it's very easy to be alone. For me, anyway, it's easy to be alone, but I don't feel like I'm challenging myself. I don't feel like I'm growing as a person while where I'm spending time with other people, whether it's a partner or friends or family. I feel like I grow a little bit more. So patience and communication, which is two things that I don't know if I'm that good at. And also just remember to give each other's time, like time off, where you can do different things. So if you are, for example, staying in a van and if you are planning a trip in a van with your partner, just make a rule. It has to be a law that once a week, 1 day a week, you either go for a bike ride, you go for somewhere in town by yourself, you go for coffee by yourself, you go for a hike by yourself, you just do something on your own. And same thing goes for the other person. It has to be a law, because without that, you're gonna explode eventually. Uh, my dog is old now, and I often think how we'll cope. I loved your video on grief. I'm glad that you liked it. I know that it's just tough. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really hard, and just enjoy the time that you have with this precious furry thing, and just know that you're doing everything you can to make them comfortable. I'm sure that you are. So, um, if you accept the other as they are, you're always good. Yeah, yeah. I guess that is what you need to do, right? Yes. Okay. Uh, yeah. Somebody says, Mel, it's called me, that the bikes are dangerous. Yes, a lot of people keep reminding me this. I know bikes are dangerous. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for so long, and I am not that interested in living forever. Not that I want to die young or anything, but I want to do what I want to do. And if that's a little bit dangerous, then I'm aware of the dangers. It sucks that it's dangerous. It sucks that it's usually cars that put in danger motorbikes. But yeah, I am aware. But I'm still gonna enjoy it till I can. Um, what are things you do to push yourself out of the comfort zone? To be honest, I think I come across as somebody that's very confident in the things that I do and very brave. I think that's the part that you see on the videos. But boy, like I set myself a goal and I'm like really excited for it and I plan for it. And then the day before that specific goal, I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm scared. And what about this? And what after this? And and like your brain starts going and like scaring you and thinking like you can do it. So I have those thoughts in my head all the time. But what I do is like I tell people what my plans are, and then I'm too proud and stubborn to like say, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. And so that pushes me to actually do the things that I want to do, that I've been wanting to do. So I don't know if that's actually the question that you asked me. But yes, that's my trick really. Plan what you want to plan when you're excited for it and when you're not really realizing what it is that you're wanting to do, and then tell people that that's what you want to do, so then you're held accountable. um Love from Bangladesh. Hello. That's the long, long, long way from here. Uh, yes, live like a lion, not a lamb. Yeah. At the same time, like I'm not that interested in taking stupid risks or what I think are stupid risks, but you never know how you're gonna die anyway. Like you don't know. I could die going down the stairs today, so that's what I try and remember, that you're not in control anyway of when you're gonna die. You just aren't. So better enjoy it till you are alive. The plan is no plan. Yeah. um. Okay, I'm gonna go. What's your favorite genre of book? I've been reading a lot of books lately, in Canada especially, because we found a secondhand bookstore that was just amazing. They had so many titles, and I am more of an essay kind of person, so I really like to learn while reading the book, and I think that I need to go back to enjoying more novel kind of books as well, because I forget that those are beautiful too. And but yeah, I'm always, when I go in a bookshop, a secondhand bookshop, I'm always drawn to the essay, more practical kind of thing. So that's what I like reading. But lately, as I said, I'm trying to read more novels. So at the moment, I'm reading Americana from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I hope I didn't butcher that, but yeah, it's really good. So I do recommend it. I wish I had the money and resources to travel everywhere. Okay, I know that I'm super privileged to be able to travel this way. And one thing that I like to remember is this conversation I had with the first lady at the house sit, the first house sit that we did. We were discussing, how lucky I was to be able to have this life, and yeah, how lucky and privileged I was. And she was like, you made a choice. You made choices to get here. And it's so true. Like, I know that I am privileged and not everybody can do this. And people have, people that are dependent on them, and maybe have kids, or it's just like, I don't live in a dream world. I don't know that not everybody can have the same lifestyle as I have. At the same time, you gotta work for it. So if this is really what you want to do, there are ways, like you're not born with your future set out. Like, you can travel and you kind of have the money. Like, it took me a long time for me to figure out a way to make money and support myself online. And when I started with the van, I didn't have any savings. In fact, maybe this is something I will open up on a different video, but to me, I used my credit card a lot because I didn't have any money, and I had a debt with my credit card at the start of my van journey. And that was also because I was doing university and I was using my credit card to pay for my university, but I was in a really dear situation financially wise. I had a really good job and I had left that, and I had, as I said, nearly no savings. And then from there, I kind of built up something. And I think that when you're really deep, deep, deep down in the shit, that's when you find creative solutions. That said, I know that I'm privileged, I know that I'm lucky, and I am aware and I'm grateful. At the same time, it didn't fall from the sky. There's a lot of work that goes into it and a lot of thought. Okay, we're nearly hitting the hour, but I think I'm gonna answer another. Okay, somebody asked a really good question that I wanted to talk about. What is the reason for removing the Amazon affiliate links? So, okay, okay, how do I say this? I've been using affiliate links for the past few years, and affiliate links, if you don't know, is basically when maybe you mention a product during your video, and on the description box you say, this is the product that I mentioned, you can find it here. And it's usually Amazon affiliate links. And if you click it, if you buy it, then I get a really, really tiny commission. And I decided to take them away after, to be honest, they were on my basket making video, which is the video that was, more popular lately. So that did have it. And then somebody commented about there being affiliate links. And I was like, man, she's so right. Because in my head, I had like some cognitive dissonance where I don't necessarily want to support Amazon because I think, don't get me wrong, I think that the idea is great and it's very convenient and it's opening a lot of opportunity for different people, but it's just eating up everything. It's just like there's no space for any other business other than Amazon, and when a company has the monopoly over something, it's never good. And so I decided to not promote Amazon. It doesn't need any promoting. There's already, they already have the monopoly, so I'm not gonna help them anymore to eat up every single commerce that exists in this world. So that's the reason why I decided to take the affiliate links. And to be perfectly genuine and honest with you, I wasn't making that much money anyway. If I was making all of my living out of affiliate links, then I probably would have thought twice about eliminating them. So I'm not saying that everybody should eliminating them, but since I wasn't making that much money anyway, and I don't particularly want to support that company, I thought I'm just gonna stop. Yeah. Hi Marina, Lucrezia Lanzoni, ciao. Hi Marina, what's your advice for a girl who wants to start traveling solo? I would say the first thing is start small. So, I mean, for some people it works to just take a plane and go to Australia by yourself for a year and do a working visa there. Fine. But if you are wondering about traveling solo and things like that, I would start exploring your own area where you know the language, where you feel a bit safer, where you know the locations a little bit better, and just try and do some micro adventures around your town. Maybe some people never even went for a hike by themselves. So go on the mountain and go for a hike and do those really tiny adventures. Take a train and go to another city maybe for a night and then come back. That will help you build confidence on your traveling skills, and it will show you that you can actually do it. And then from there, you can build it on. And this works for girls and boys, for vans as well. If you are wanting to travel solo in a van, I would highly suggest to maybe have your first night in the van in front of your house or in front of a friend's house, and then move maybe, a kilometer away, somewhere that you know. And that again builds your confidence until you feel okay to, explore places that you don't know as well. A lot of people mentioning jewelry stuff again. You know what? I'm gonna try and make a live video on that channel so that I can answer all your questions there. I'm trying to keep those two separate, but since you all have a lot of questions, I think I will make a live on that channel. Yeah, let's do that next week. Let's do a live on that channel instead. But yeah, to go back to I know it was just a question, it was just a comment, but it's something that I've been thinking a lot about, the same as with traveling by plane. I understand that there's a lot of people that look at me and I feel like there's a responsibility, and I feel like I owe to spread a good message and a message that I believe in. And I am definitely passionate about living in tune with nature and living more minimally and just trying to have the smallest impact as you can on the planet. And I feel like I haven't really been talking about this on the channel at all, to be honest, because I don't feel very confident in the way that I explain myself. I feel like I always miss points, but I would like to make more content related to this. Yeah, it's exciting. Do you have any other good watching recommendations? Do you mean films or YouTube channels? I mainly watch YouTube. Like sometimes I watch some films, but lately I've been watching just a lot of YouTube because I had a lot of time. And lately, who have I been watching? There's a few new channels that I unfortunately forgot the name of, but I might leave them in the description bar. There are more commentary channels about current issues. So there's one that I do remember the name. She's called Tiffany Ferg, I think, and she kind of breaks down current issues in a very engaging way. She does a lot of research on it, so that I do enjoy. And there's one channel that I adore, but it's in French. It's a Swiss channel. It's called Passe-moi les jumelles. So if you're French and you understand French, then I definitely recommend that channel. It's like micro documentaries about different people living alternative lifestyle, not necessarily living unique lives. And it's so fascinating. So I definitely recommend that. Passe-moi les jumelles. And I think you can put the subtitles if you don't understand French. Do you feel, this is a really good question, Caroline, you have good questions. Do you feel pressure to conform to a more traditional career? I have, especially when I left my job, because as I said, it was a good job. But I did not care, to be honest. And the only time now where I where I feel like I'm having pressure is when I visit my French family, because they seem, I don't know if it's French people in general. You tell me if you're French, but it seems like in France and in Italy too, actually, it's really important, the career that you have, the job that you have, how much money you make. It's super important. And I feel like anytime that I try to explain what I do, it just doesn't feel like it's a real job and that I don't do anything all day. So definitely when I interact with my French family, that's when I feel like I'm being not necessarily pressured, but people don't really understand what it is that I do. So I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. I'm getting a little bit dry throat. Will you live in a tiny house? Well, that is my long-term project. As for most of van lifers, it is to have a tiny house. And I am currently saving to hopefully one day buy land and build a tiny house. And yeah, the sooner the better. I would love to have a base, and I'm super interested in building a tiny house, and I would love to learn that. Obviously, I don't have a lot of skills, but I think you can learn anything. And the fact that I converted the van, it kind of proves me that you can do pretty much anything as long as you have the will, and your body works, of course, because not everybody has the luck of having a healthy body. But yeah, definitely I would love to have a tiny house. More than anything, land. Once you have land, then the possibilities are endless. Just stay yourself. All the money can't buy what you have made. Memories with your travels. That is true. That is true. I would love to build a tiny house. Please keep us informed of any courses you find. Yeah, I think the best course is just trial and error. And my, like, ideally, if and when I get land, would be to first build. So if I buy land, I will probably have a van where to stay. And while the tiny house being built, or maybe there could be already a building on the place. Who knows? We don't know. But my idea was to build a studio first, like a jewelry studio, a tiny jewelry studio, just to test my building skills and like to see if I enjoy it and if it's possible. And then from there, once you do the studio, then you could attack a bigger project. I don't know. I say things like that, then maybe the day that it happens is just like, nope, not doing it. But yeah. Where would your ideal tiny house be? Which country? Canada? Probably. Probably, yes. I mean, in Canada, land is cheaper, but I will need to find a way to stay in Canada because obviously you need to have some kind of visa, find a way to be a resident there. So we will see. But yeah, Canada is really a lovely place to have a tiny house. Reflecting Me says, may I ask, sorry if I missed the explanation, why have you returned to Italy and where are you planning to go next? So I returned to Italy because my visa was expiring in Canada, so I had to come back. I had no choice. I had the choice on where in Europe to come back. In Italy, I had a place where to do my 2 weeks of isolation, which I'm required to do. I had a place where I could do it in a safe space alone with nobody else, so without putting anybody else in danger. And so this is why I decided to come to Italy. And also I wanted to help my dad renovating the house, which links with the tiny house thing, because I thought if I can help him renovating the house, there's a lot of things that I can learn that could come useful for tiny house building too. So ta-da! That was the, two things coming up together. It's a great idea to build. Don't be afraid. Eco build is very easy. Is it? I don't know. I've been reading books and I think it's tough when you don't know where to start, but I'll be reading more books, watching more videos. And then, as I said, I think the best way to learn is just doing it and just figure it out where you go. As long as you don't have like huge projects of like a cathedral, I think, you can start and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then it will work. Have you considered doing motorbike travels while you're in Italy? I don't know. At the moment, I really feel like I'm not planning pleasure trips. The only trips that I'm gonna be doing are more like out of need, and then I will make them pleasurable on the way, but I'm not gonna take trips just because of it, if it makes any sense, because I still don't know how to feel about it. I saw that a lot of people have started traveling again, taking planes. Lots of people just like, Europe is open, so traveling everywhere again. And I don't know how to feel about it. For the moment, I'm just gonna enjoy the 2 months that I have here. 2 months? No, less, month and a half, and then see it from there. But yes, last year, I don't know if you remember, but I was planning a trip in Sardinia, and I had booked the ferry, booked the first night in an Airbnb. And then on the way there, I had an issue with the bike where the gears weren't shifting anymore. I lost my ferry and I came back. So that didn't go that well. So I would love to go to Sardinia, but Sicily, I mean, there's so many nice places, but yeah. Thank you, Tiago. To buy candy, love your videos. I don't eat candy, but I'll drink a coffee on you, if you don't mind. I'll drink a cappuccino. I'm so missing coffees. Jill say, I can promise you, having done many builds, you just need to start and learn as you go. Yeah, you can build. It's a natural ability to build a home. Yeah, I guess you just have to believe that you can do it, and then you just do it. I went to Sardinia last summer and got certified as a free diver. You'd love it. That much. At my sister's house, there's a ukulele here. But yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of that. I've been more into practical things. But I should definitely get back to it because, it's a beautiful skill to have, to keep up. Niam says, hello from Ireland. I fell down a mountain yesterday and lying in bed, so annoyed. I will be immobile for weeks, and I turn on YouTube and you're live. My health doggy girl Poppy says hi. Please take care of yourself and please give a cuddle to your dog Poppy. Such a sweet name, Poppy. I love it. Okay, I have a really good question here. Rux says, do you want to have kids in the future? I think I'm not that young anymore. Like next year I'm gonna be 30, but I think that the older I get, the more this question is gonna come up. And I don't think I do. Especially with the current situation, it just doesn't, from my personal views, it doesn't feel fair. There's a lot of different reasons. I mean, I always thought that I would have kids, and now the more I grow up, the more I'm torn about it. So I don't know. Probably more of a no, and instead have lots of dogs. That's my plans, or at least not any of my own, Oh, I know it's not travel related, but do you have a favorite band? Yes, I do. I mean, at the moment, like, you switch favorite music every few months, but right now, and it's been playing, for the past, actually a year, Cragbean is definitely my favorite band, and they just released a new album, and there's this song who's called, it's something like Last Night. We can be together or something like that. I don't remember the title, but it's just so good. And every morning I put it up. The video is brilliant. So definitely I don't think everybody will like them. It's more instrumental. There's just a drummer, a bass, and a guitar. And on the last album, they also include more vocals. But yeah, definitely go check them out. Maybe you'll like them. Ciao, Ricky! Magic Pyromaniac. It's my cousin. If anybody's interested in playing Magic, go check his channel out, because he's planning to release a lot of cool content. It's called You and I. Yes, that is the question. I love that song so much. I mean, the first album that they did, I played, like, it's one of those albums that, after a bit you get sick of his songs. In this case, I just don't. I just can keep it on and on and on and on and on, and I just love it. Juliet again. And Emma, I love the band. Yes, I mean, last year they were in Manchester, or maybe 2 years ago, and I was in England at the time, and I was like, oh no, it's too much of a hassle to go and see them. And now I regret it so much, because now who knows when they're gonna be in tour again, and they must be such a blast on concerts. So yeah, let me know if anybody has seen them live. Anyway, so Juliet, hello from Chicago. I've been turning to your videos to escape the madness here in the US, and they've been a godsend. Thank you. Though I cried my eyes out over what you know. You're a rare soul. More music. Thank you, Juliet. I'm glad that you could find some escape with some YouTube videos. Sending you all my love. I know it must be tough over there. And in Italy, can you believe it? Like, this area where I'm at now, it was one of the worst hit areas. It's northeast. It was really bad. And now, not even 3 months after, people seem to have totally forgotten, and everybody is cheery, and it seems like this trauma never existed. Of course, people are still being careful, and there's like everybody is wearing masks, but it's weird how people forget this often, forget this fast, sorry. David, oh my god, I played Magic, then go follow Magic Pyromaniac. Wait, I'll put it here. Magic Pyromaniac. Plugging in channels. Hello from the UK. I loved your Kangoo videos so much that I have my own. That is so cool. I mean, I've been seeing so many super cool Kangoo conversions. I'm like, oh my god, there's so... What I love about small conversions is just that you have so creative on ways to find space and ways to lay out. So yeah, I love seeing small vans conversions because I think that they are the most... I mean, all van conversions, you have to be thinking about space and stuff like that, but especially when you have a small van. Emma Bandis Cragbean. I just don't know how to pronounce them. I know how to write it, but I don't know how to pronounce them. Greetings from Costa Rica. Wow, I had... so when I was really young, when I was like 18, 19, I worked the summers in a rafting base, and there was one guy that was from Costa Rica, and since then I've been wanting to go, not because of this guy, but because he had told me that it was, you know, a beautiful place, and I didn't quite know about Costa Rica at the time, and then it keeps popping up. I would absolutely love to visit. Yeah. Sorry to hear left Canada. I know I miss Canada. I miss Canada. Hopefully I'll be back next year. Shari Davis, Shari, I think, yes, you ordered a basket, right? I know, I have a list there, and I think you are the one. This is the basket that I was starting. It's actually your basket, and the plan was to start making it during the live, but I just can't multitask. I thought I could, but yes, I've started your basket, so hopefully it will be ready soon, and I'll be shipping it next week, hopefully. Could you write the French YouTube channel name you mentioned before? Yes, I'll do that now. Passe-moi le jumelle. If you're interested in van-related content, there's one video about this guy. He's like 90, and he was probably the first van lifer ever. Like he traveled to Morocco, and he went to India in like the 50s with a van. So if you're interested in van content, then definitely find that video. I can't remember how it's called, but there's an old man in the thumbnail, if that helps. Have you ever been to a van show? They are awesome. I think I would just get like blinded by all the cool vans. So no, I have never been. I bet they're cool, and I bet you can get a lot of inspiration from it, but no, I've never been. I think I've been to camper van shows maybe when I was younger, because again, my family's been, you know, into camper vans since I was a little kid. So was there something or someone who particularly inspired you in your lifestyle choices? The only person that really stuck to me when I was thinking about traveling by van was this blog by this British guy who's called Van Dog Traveler, and he put out so much great content about converting a van. And there weren't as many people back then, it was like 5 years ago, that did van related content, like van conversion and stuff. So I remember that his blog was really, really, really helpful to me. And that's the main one. Yeah, I think he was the one that I really followed. Like I looked at a lot of his content. Also, a YouTube channel. Oh my God, how is it called? Maybe you'll know him. He had, I think he sold it. He had a Movano, and he converted a Vivaro Movano, and he converted it, and he put a lot of really cool videos on his conversions. And he was really helpful too. But it was more about the converting the van itself. It wasn't necessarily about the lifestyle. Um, yeah. Now now on YouTube, I follow a lot of people that have alternative lifestyles. But back then, like honestly, 5 years ago, when I was just living a normal life in England, I was just following beauty YouTubers, which there's nothing wrong with it, but and fashion YouTubers. That's what I was following. And now it's like I'm a completely different person. Like even back then, I was interested in sustainability and living lightly and that kind of stuff. But that's the kind of content that I was consuming. Bob Wells on Cheap RV Living. Yes, he's another YouTube channel and blog. Especially the blog was helpful to me anyway back then. That helped. But I think I found him after I actually moved in the van. But he's the king of like content in vans on YouTube. Like he puts so much out there, and definitely if you're interested in van related content, then check him out. Uh, Oh, Wim, thank you, Marina. Have to go now. Hi, bye. My for serious. Thank you. I will consider it. As I said, I still don't exactly know what I'm doing, to be honest. Like, as I said, it looks like I have things figured out, but I don't. So I have just a rough plan, and then we'll see how things go. All Walmarts you can park and sleep and park RVs. Yeah, I don't know how it is in the US, but in Canada, some Walmarts actually don't. Most of them do, but some of them don't. So, yeah, the best thing is to check beforehand before you go there if they do allow overnight parking or not. And if they don't, usually it's okay to stay just one night. Yeah. What part of England are you from? I spent time in Newcastle. I'm not from England, I'm Italian, but I actually moved to really close to Newcastle. That's where I spent most of my time when I was in England. I love Newcastle. I love Geordies. Uh, Living big in a tiny house is a great one for tiny houses. Love that. Is that a channel? I guess it's the channel. To be honest, I try not to consume too much content about tiny houses because I get itchy feet. But if it's really about the building process, then definitely I'll check it out. Because a lot of content out there is about, look at my beautiful tiny house. And I'm just like, it looks so nice. I want it. I want to kind of consume content that's kind of telling me how to do it so that I can do it too. And not just like wish. Uh, My basket is in your list. On your list. Yes, Shari. I am gonna work on your basket tonight. So hopefully it will get to you soon. What job did I do in England? I basically worked in an office. I'm not gonna go too much in detail, but it was a great job. There was a great team. People were really lovely, and I am very grateful for the opportunity that I had over there because I was really young and I had a really good job in something that I wouldn't have had in Italy. So I will always be grateful for the job, but it just wasn't what fit me, and I really needed a change. Uh, Ordering from you soon. Love all your jewelry and stuff. That's how I found you on your biscuit making beautiful. Yay! Welcome, Wendy. And I hope there's still stuff on the shop because I had a lot of order lately. But I will be refilling it hopefully soon in the next few weeks. How do I get on your basket list? Left you a message earlier that I tried Etsy, no luck. Abigail, Did you send me a message on Etsy itself? Because if you have, I should have replied. Now I've put them back on sale. I will say, for anybody that's interested in the baskets, they're not cheap. I've sold them for a little bit less at the beginning, but then I figured out it wasn't worth it for me to sell it at the price, and I wish they were cheaper. So if you go on your Etsy and you're like, oh my god, they're so expensive, why they're so expensive, it's just pine needles. It's because they just take forever to make. It's beautiful, I love making them, but they take me, like a medium basket takes me basically all day, with a pause for lunch. So that's why the price is that high, and also shipping is included, and the shipping is quite expensive. So I just wanted to mention it because a lot of people send me messages saying that they were disappointed that they were that pricey, but I hope you understand why that is. Yeah, so thank you to all of you that actually understood that that was a I hope fair price, and that decided to order anyway. It means a lot. So yeah, to answer your question, you can find them on my Etsy. I think I put 5 for sale, and I'm actually receiving more thread next week, hopefully a turquoise thread that I think will be very nice. So if you're interested, you can go and check it. One thing is that I have about 14 to make at the moment. So if you're wanting a specific, to have it by a specific date, if you're planning a present or anything like that, then let me know beforehand so that I can see if I can actually do it, because right now the waiting time is about 6 weeks for any new baskets orders. Does that make sense? Okay. And I think I'm gonna go very soon, but I know that you probably have asked questions. If I haven't seen them and you like to ask again, then please go ahead. The thread goes quite fast, and sometimes I rumble a lot, so I can't quite read all the comments. So if there's anything that I haven't answered, then shoot me. No, don't shoot me. Shoot the questions so that I can answer. I think we're gonna close in about 10 minutes. Your price is very reasonable for the amount of time you put making them, and they're unique. Thank you. Again, I feel self-conscious about, I always try to make everything I make affordable. I don't want to be that kind of person that's just like, it's art, and I'm just going to sell it for, 10 times the price. I'm more, obviously I want to make a living out of it. That's how I pay my life. But at the same time, I try and keep things as affordable as I can, because I feel that handmade is the future. People should invest in handmade. I think we should all go back to handmade and stop buying stuff that's coming from the other side of the world. So I'm trying to encourage that. And obviously I'm not perfect. I'm not making everything myself. Some things I buy from, sites from far places, but I'm trying to get better and produce things that are local and encourage people to buy things that are local, things that are handmade. And that's also why I'm trying to keep the prices in a fair range, because I see a lot of those sustainable, organic, they are great, but they're so expensive, and I don't want sustainability and sustainable. I'm saying sustainability too many times. I don't want this kind of products to just be for really, really rich people. I'm going on a tangent. Mirko the Bike, ciao Mirko. Aspetta una chiacchierata in italiano. Sai cosa? Hai ragione. Ho visto che ci sono più persone. I'm sorry everybody, I'm just gonna answer one question in Italian. Ho visto che ci sono più italiani che insomma si sono iscritti o che mi hanno fatto delle domande, quindi credo che farò un video come quello che ho fatto in francese con una Q&A, domande e risposte, così posso farne uno in italiano, ma sarà un'eccezione. Già faccio fatica a fare dei video in inglese, quindi se mi metto anche a farli in italiano non riusciamo più. Sorry. Back to English. I will go now and hand make a coffee later. That's great. I just had a coffee before this live because I was feeling a bit sleepy. Uh, I agree we should focus on labor-intensive economy rather than machinery. I don't know if labor-intensive products are necessarily the answer. Like, I think we should try and, because obviously if it's labor-intensive, then you want the price to be high. I mean, reflective of the labor. So I don't know. There's half, there's a balance as in everything, I guess. How did you gain confidence on making YouTube videos? I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have enough confidence to start. Chelsea? Okay, film a video and get somebody else to edit it for you. Because I think this is really tough at the beginning. Like the first video, okay? Get a friend or somebody that knows how to edit and they can do it for you. Because the first videos, you're gonna look at yourself and you're gonna say, I look not at my best. My voice sounds weird. I say stupid stuff. The angle is not right. And you're gonna put yourself down and you might not put that video out because you feel like you're not good enough. So get somebody else to edit the video and upload it for you and then see from there. I think that could be a cool solution because I know that a lot of people, the first few videos are really hard to upload because you feel like you're not good enough and you just don't want to see your face and you don't want to edit yourself. So that could be a good solution. And also, I mean, YouTube is not for everybody, but if this is really what you want to do, then you got to start somewhere and it's not going to be perfect. Like if you look back at my first videos, I was so awkward. Like, honestly, I was just really awkward on the camera. And I'm not saying that now I'm super comfortable, but I'm getting there. So you're not going to start and be great. There are some channels that start and they are great and good for them, but you got to start somewhere. So, and also, keep in mind what your niche is, like what it is that you want to make content about. A lot of people maybe start their channel and they do what I eat in a day, and then they do hauls, and then they do, I don't know, traveling vlogs, and then they do a song with the piano. And I'm guilty of that. Like I'm guilty of being scattered a little bit, but I feel like if your content is more focused into one thing, you're more likely to attract people that will stay with you and be interested in what you do. Yeah, but yeah, just tell this little thought in your head that's telling you that you're not good enough. Just tell him to shut up and just do what it is that you want to start. Oh, Mike Wallace, I made my first pine needle basket after learning from your video. Came out awesome. Thank you. Honestly, like seeing the baskets that you guys made, like a few people tagged me on Instagram stories, and it just honestly makes my day, because when I made that video, it honestly was just for my subscribers to kind of see what I was doing, because a lot of people had asked, and I'm still learning. Like now I feel like I kind of mastered the baskets, the one that you saw in the video. But when I made the video, that was my fourth basket, and I'm so happy that my explanation was clear enough for other people to make that video, to make that basket. So if you have Instagram, and maybe you can follow me, you can follow me, and you can also send me a message with the picture of your basket. That would honestly make my day, and I would just love to see how you made it. Oh, Arvind, no, machines are making few people richer only. That's why I said labor-intensive economy can solve the problem. Distribution of money. Machines must be used in case of emergency services only. I'm not that. I agree with you in one sense, and also I think that some jobs are so boring, so tedious that, I mean, I'm happy if machines do it for us. Like data entry and stuff like that. It's the most boring job in the world. And of course, if a machine is doing it, then the person is going to lose their job, but they're going to have hopefully an opportunity or like a push to find a better job, or to maybe educate themselves so they can get to a better job. So I don't know. My grandma, my French grandma, she would always go like at the tills. If there's like automatic tills, she always goes to the person tills. And her reasoning is so that they can keep the job. And I don't know if that's the thing. Like, of course, they can keep the job, but in the long run, there's gonna be more machines. So, and jobs will disappear. This is just how it is. Like, look at now how many shops there are of fixing shoes. Like before, it was a real job. You know, you were a shoemaker fixing shoes, and now there's maybe one of those for, you know, I don't know, for city. So it's just normal that jobs disappear. And if it is a tedious job in the first place, then I don't see why not, you know, machines can go ahead and substitute us for that, so we can go on and have more creative projects and works. Am I being naive again? I don't know. Perhaps. I'm so glad, honestly, that this live worked on the laptop, because it was a disaster, honestly, at the start. And this time I also tried to schedule it so that you would know when I would go live and stuff. So it was so disappointing when the phone just gave up. But I'm so glad that we kind of made it work and that you were so patient with me. Jobs disappear and appear. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mike, you don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I actually deleted it. I had created a profile many years ago and I never used it, and I deleted it. But on Facebook, do you have Facebook? On the Facebook page, you can maybe send it there. Michael Tabamo, hello, saw you months ago living in a mini car van. What are you up to now? I know it's hard to keep up. So I sold the van. I bought a bike. I traveled a little bit with the bike. I left. I went to Canada for a little while. I did some house sitting for the winter, which was great. Then lived in a van I lived in somewhere during the pandemic, then went back to a van. And then now I'm in Italy. I'm isolating for 2 weeks. And then hopefully I'll be helping out with house renovation, then going back with my bike, and then maybe going back to a van. We'll see. We'll see how things turn out. David James, this live chat was good. So glad. Honestly, maybe we should do it more often. I don't know. Maybe it's good that it's once in a while, because it's like the novelty. But I really enjoy this way, because obviously when you obviously I do love and I read all of the comments. Like, believe me, even if I don't answer, I'll read all of the comments, and I do make my best to answer to all of them. If a video is not, like the basket making video, for example, had 2,000 comments, so I obviously can't reply to all of them, but to other videos, I always try and take the time to reply to you, but still it's not the same as having this, like this feels even more direct, the live, so it's cool. Anita, hi, I really like your baskets. Can you tell me which other thread can be used for baskets making other than raffia and sinew, please? So I've been using personally waxed thread that is polyester, and I am aware that that is not the best option because it's still petrol and it's kind of a plastic. So that's what I had, and that's what I've been using, and it works great. But if you want a more natural solution, you can get linen waxed thread, which is what I ordered and which is what I'll be making my future baskets when I finish this thread. So yeah, check waxed linen thread and look for like 1 millimeter or less. The one I'm using, I think it was 0.7 millimeters. So yeah. But really, like most thread would work, is just that you want something that's resistant and that's easy to pass through the needles, because the needles are quite a hard medium. You need a lot of energy to pass your needle through, so you want something that's kind of smooth, that goes through the needles. Angela, hi Marina, in Canada you were wearing a beautiful crochet tank top. Did you make it? Yes, I did. That was my first kind of how do you say that? Outfit? No. clothing thing that I made, and it was so much fun to make it. It's not perfect. Like, you can see that, I mean, I don't have it now, so I don't know why I'm showing you this, but it's not perfect, but I love it, and I'm wearing it. And now I'm into socks. I'm just crocheting socks. I just find it so much fun. Do you have any other products in mind other than the baskets? I have videos on things to make from nature in mind, but not products necessarily for the shop. For my shop, I really want to concentrate on making jewelry and sea glass jewelry mainly, and I want to get better at silversmithing and just work with silver, because silver can be recycled more easily. You just need to fuse it, melt it, and then you can, roll it, and then you can reuse it. So that's what I want to do. But yes, in terms of videos, I have a few ideas. I'm not going to share them because I don't know if I'm going to be doing it. But yeah, I'm kind of working onto thinking of things that I could share on the channel that are similar to the basket video. Yeah, both Michael Atkinson and Salter Vesta, they say about Siam Beach that is full of sea glass. I follow quite a few people that make jewelry from sea glass, and it seems like there's more and more and more people that are doing this. And so I'm worried that when I'm going to go, there's not going to be any sea glass left. When I started going, maybe 7 years ago, I didn't know that I wanted to make jewelry with it. I just was so curious and so fascinated by the sea glass. And back then there weren't as many people. And now when I go, there's really pros that seem to be, looking for sea glass. So it's cool that people know about it, but at the same time, competition. Did you start painting or no? Because in one of your videos you said you want to start painting. Yes, I did start watercolors, and as I said, I brought my watercolors with me, but the paper is still in Canada because I didn't have enough space in the luggage, so I need to go and get some more paper. And I was doing this course on Skillshare. If you don't know, Skillshare is I'm not sponsored or anything, but I am affiliated to Skillshare. So if you sign up, I think I get like $7. I think, yeah, for sign up. So I do use it, and I do pay monthly for it. And on Skillshare, you can see courses of different kinds. And I was doing a course for watercolors. So every day you had to do a drill, like you had to paint a specific object. And I did that for a little while, and then I kind of let go, because every day to bring out the watercolors and then put them back, it was kind of a hassle. But I would love to get back to it. And definitely, if you're wanting to learn watercolors or learning anything really, check out Skillshare, because they have so many courses. And actually, I was thinking, but that's another project. I was thinking of making a course on basket making on Skillshare once I get more comfortable with the different techniques. Because as I said, I don't consider myself good enough to be a teacher, but eventually I would like to create an even more in-depth course that maybe I could share on Skillshare. I don't know, that was kind of an idea that was running through my mind. Do I still play the guitar? Yes, but my guitar is in the UK at the moment. That's my sister's house. So would you ever use artificially made sea glass? So Tom, that's a really funny thing. I wouldn't personally, but once at the start of when I was starting to make jewelry, I ordered some sea glass online because it looked so great, and I didn't know about Siam back then. And I thought it would be cool to see if I could make anything out of it. And I received it, and it was fake sea glass, and I thought it was real sea glass. So I was so pissed. So no, I wouldn't use artificial sea glass. I don't see the point. Like, it's either sea glass, it's either not. If it's artificial sea glass, then it loses all the charm of sea glass, in my opinion anyway. It still looks beautiful, but it's just what's cool about sea glass. It's its history, is that it's you found it on the beach, like somebody went out of the way to try and find something, and it just has a history. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. Would you try to draw with graphite or colored pencils? Maybe it would be easier than watercolors. I just like watercolors. I love how they look, and I know they're hard to master. And oop, did you hear that? That was an order. I have the Etsy app on your phone. It goes like ching ching when you have an order. What was I saying? Watercolors. Yes, I just love how watercolors look. So this is why I was kind of trying to learn that. But I know that it's a long, long, long way to get there, you know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go. I want to thank all of you for joining me for this live and for celebrating the 100K, and to all of the new people that came here from the basket making video, welcome. And thank you for all your questions. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer you, or if I didn't see your comment, or if I didn't answer your question. I apologize. There was just a lot of them, and I'll maybe do another live another time. And for all of you that are interested in jewelry making, Etsy selling, all of that stuff, please check out my channel Makina Makes, which will also be in the description box. And there, I think I will make a live there, since many of you had questions. And there I will be posting just content related to crafty stuff. Okay, it was a pleasure. This was probably the longest live ever. And stay safe, stay well. I'll see you soon. Bye.